All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie Owen. Over there, Jason Cundy.
Has anyone seen Newcastle? Anyhow, can you hear me now? You must have won a hell of a beating on deck. Cheryl Cole, I beat the final boss. I beat the final boss. You must have won a hell of a beating. The best fans of the world. Can you hear me, best fans of the world? You must have won a hell of a beating. Jason Tyndall, Matt Hancock, the top palace. The top palace. Can you hear me, top? You must have won a hell of a beating. Shirley Obi, Angel North, Alan Shearer, Sam Fender, Steve Harmison, Sam Fender, Stevie Harmison, Sam Fender. Can you hear me, Alexander Isak? You almost don't want only left. You almost don't want a hell of a beating. Peter, the Newcastle man. Nuki Brown Ale. Greggs. Can you hear me, Greggs? You almost don't want a hell of a beating.
Scored so many goals.
Something wrong with you. Oh, the Champions League game week is over, and we'll get into Chelsea getting spanked as well, but loads of action tonight. Marcus Rashford, oh my word, what a performance he put in. United fans, how you feel? You got to be happy for him. You know, you got to be happy. He's one of your own. One of your own. Gone and done the business tonight for Barca, a proper team. Elsewhere, Haaland, he continues crazy goal-scoring form tonight. They each passed Napoli. Newcastle, though, outclassed on the night. We'll get into it. Give us a call. 03 717 22 3344. Hello, mate. How are you?
You all right, matey?
I'm good. Big
Excellent.
night, Champions League action.
Another big night. 3 on the spin.
I know, it's been great. Good stuff. What did you make of it? I mean, look, we watched the Newcastle. That was the main one because it was a big night for them.
Yep. Started well.
Started all right.
Started really well.
They run out of gas.
Well, they do that well, actually, Newcastle. They get the crowd up. They're on the front foot. I think that's why Anthony Gordon might have started. That high energy, that high press. And for the first 20 minutes, Newcastle at them, really at them. They were battling down the hatches, Barca.
Yeah.
And then they weather the storm, and then Pedri starts getting on the ball, and they start stroking it about.
Yeah.
But I still felt that Newcastle had the measure of them. I still felt that Newcastle were very much where they wanted to be. Second half, again, started well. They pushed pressure on the edge of the box. Didn't really threaten, though, did they?
No.
Harvey Barnes had that one chance early in that, midway through the first half.
Anthony Gordon missed one as well.
Anthony Gordon's
missed the
missed.
ball.
Yeah. And
Langer was causing all sorts of problems.
that early start of the game,
Yeah.
they were electric, Newcastle. And then the tempo drops inevitably. You can't keep that up. It's impossible to keep that level of intensity. We saw something similar against Liverpool. Liverpool gets the goal and then things change. But you can't do that for 90 minutes, mate. It's hard to do it for 20 minutes. You know, to that energy.
Do you think they kill themselves sometimes playing at that tempo so early on and then they run out of gas a little bit? Because I see it happen. Look, it's an amazing way to start a game, and I understand it with the atmosphere and everything. But if you don't score, you almost then run out of gas.
Then you felt they got their breather. You know, they sat in their shape quite rigid. Eddie Howe's obviously a brilliant tactically coached way. He coaches, so tactically gets them right. But then Barca, I felt, got into their groove. But it's. I understand why they start like that, because they want to be on the front foot. They want to set the tone.
I know.
And if they do get an early goal, you can only imagine what that might feel like for Barca. Wow, what are we in for here? Yeah. It never came. And then you get to half time and they started again. And then Rashford pops up with, brilliant header.
Oh, the first goal was a great goal.
It's a much better header than people think. The second one was unbelievable. The second one. And after that, it felt like Newcastle lost their way. They've done well to get themselves back into it, by the way.
They gave themselves a chance.
Gave themselves too little too late, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was.
And I think you just have to accept that over the 90 minutes, that bit of quality that they lacked up top, Barca had in Marcus Rashford. Actually, I felt Trippier, first half, as the measure of him. So a lot of the ball, Rashford, didn't quite do enough damage. Trippier played well. Second half, there was only one winner.
Yeah. I mean, he's got that in the locker, doesn't he? He's just got that class in him.
In front of Tuchel as well.
Yeah, I know. Well, look, we know Tuchel likes him anyway because he brought him straight back into the squad. But
you do it on that big stage, and there would have been pressure on Marcus because he would have known that everyone in England would be looking at him, and he'd have known Tuchel's up there.
Yeah.
So it was a big night for him.
It was a night of him to say, "I've arrived at Barcelona," wasn't it?
Well, he certainly did that.
It was his night tonight.
He certainly did that, and I just wonder what the Man United fans are thinking now, because
they've got to be happy for him, surely.
Well, I think some will be. I think most of them will be like, well, where was that? Why don't we see that player?
He's playing in a rubbish team now. He's playing for a proper team.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
I think
now he's getting the ball in the right area.
I think that's fair, matey. But I think Newcastle fans will come away and look, they will almost certainly qualify, right, for the knockout stages. I feel I can't imagine there's a world where Newcastle don't. It's the first game. If you're going to lose one, and it's probably, without seeing the rest of the game, probably the toughest game they're going to have, right?
Yeah.
It's disappointing. It's the first game, mate. Move on. If you're going to lose one, lose the first, you know exactly what you got to do. I think they'll be fine.
Okay, let's go to Dom. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Dom?
Right, Dom?
Good evening, boys. How are we?
All right, mate.
All right, is it the game?
Yeah, just walking back to my car now.
Yeah. What do you make of it? I mean, look, great start, but just didn't get the goal.
Mate, they are the best team that I've ever seen come and play at St James's Park. Without doubt. The difference in quality was unreal. Their calmness on the ball. I thought tonight we were probably a little bit erratic. I think first half an hour we were the better team by far. Really took the game to him, but I think exactly what you said, O'Hara, there's a little bit of naivety. I think we just tired ourselves out. And you could see that. Last 10 minutes of the first half, Bruno was knackered. Gordon, through the most part of the game, to be fair, Gordon looked completely disinterested, which was it's frustrating.
I notice it a lot with Newcastle, and I get it. It's the atmosphere, it's electric, the fans, the club, Champions League. It's a big night. But the way you approach a game, it's almost like it's so frantic and so like, right, gung-ho football, we're going to go after them. But if you don't get that goal, all of a sudden the team, it kind of falls a bit flat. And then you can't keep that up for 90 minutes.
I think there's a line there, though, Jamie. I think, yes, there's a franticness about it, but I also think it's very tactically clever because it's a very intense press. That first 5 or 10 minutes, Jerome Garcia, he didn't know what to do with the ball when he came to him. He was scared. The Barca defence, they could not get out in that first 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that there is a difference between it being frantic and panicky almost and it being actually a very clever, intense press, which I think is what we do so well.
No, it was good, but he didn't score. That's the problem. Do you know what I mean?
And I get that.
And then when you do drop off, Barcelona then really, they just outclassed you.
100%. Mate, there's a difference in quality between them and us.
Yeah.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you have to give them all the credit in the world. They're the La Liga champions.
Yeah, of course. Oh, of course.
They're the toughest team we'll play in this league phase. We've got 3 winnable games at home now with Bilbao, PSV, and...
Yeah, you'll be fine.
The other one is going today. But I think we'll be all right. But, we missed the striker tonight in that first half. You have a striker on the pitch, different game.
Why didn't he?
You got Benfica the other game, by the way.
I think Benfica, that's the one.
Mourinho.
I think the reason he didn't go with a striker tonight, obviously Gordon is suspended for Bournemouth at the weekend.
Yep.
Voltemade complained when he came off on Saturday against Wolves saying that he had cramps.
Right.
It's a big change for Voltemade to come into this league, which is so physical and so aggressive and so fast-paced compared to the Bundesliga.
I just wonder also,
it takes a bit of time to adapt.
Gordon leads the press well, doesn't he? He's one of those that will give you absolutely everything. And now I've seen Newcastle do this before. I remember the PSG game a couple of seasons ago. That energy and intensity that can win you matches if you get the first goal, and it can really frighten the opposition, really set the tone. And when the goal doesn't come, then you have to get a breather. And we all saw about halfway through that first half. That's where they get back into the shape and they're having a breather. And make sure we don't. But Barca slowly but surely grew into it. But I don't know. I think Newcastle fans should be quite proud of what they did and how they went about it. Fortunately for them, if they had a Marcus Rashford in their team, right? And let's be honest, they've got good players, but someone that can put the ball in the back of the net from what he did with the header and that strike.
Yeah. Isak would have been good.
Oh, why have you done that? Why are you being nasty? You can see where Isak left now, right? He played for Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool are going to go close. They're going to go deep in this competition.
Yeah.
You can understand. I think,
All right, Dom, thanks for your call. Let's go to Mike. He's a Man United fan. All right, Mike?
I'm all right, yeah.
Why are you phoning us up for? It's Champions League night.
I was watching Rashford.
What's the matter with Rashford? What? You happy for him?
He actually turned up, and it just shows you how bad we are as a football club. We can't even keep our players. How bad we can't.
Everyone leaves and goes on and does better things, don't they? Hoyland's scoring goals. Anthony's doing well. Rashford. Nana got MOM the other day. It's you lot.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but when you look at him, he's happy for once, and I hope he keeps it up.
You're pleased for him then? You're happy that he's gone out, and because the relationship had broken down, hadn't it? So something had to change.
Well, I think we all know why. I mean, we can look at the system and that for United, but, we know all that. And I think Rashford, at the end of the day, he was made a scapegoat in a way because they paid him a lot of money and made him like the top earner.
You can see why you paid so much for him. You've seen it tonight.
You can. But it's like the manager, I think, just broken down communication. That's what I put it down to, and the board.
Right, okay.
But obviously, I'm happy for him because that's.
Why are you happy for him though? I'm sorry, Mike. I'll say that to tee it up, but why are you happy for him?
He's one of their own, Jay.
You should be fuming, really. Let's be honest. If you're a Man United fan, you should be fuming. He just rocked up at Barcelona and put 2 great goals in.
Yeah, but
where was that for Man United?
I'll tell you where that was in Man United. We got a bad manager, we got a bad board. Just says it all, and a bad culture. That culture's rotten.
Well, that's fair enough.
All right.
I think
Mike, listen, thanks for calling. I want to go to another Mike. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Mikey?
Michael?
Me?
Michael.
Mike?
Hello, mate.
All
You
right,
all
Mikey.
right?
Yeah, not bad, matey.
You good?
Yeah, not bad. I just thought that we were a bit naive. We battered them. For the first 10 minutes, we battered them. And then we sat back. And then the second half, we battered them for the first 10 minutes. It's a bit naive. Do you know what I mean? We should have probably sat back and then come.
No, but the problem you've got, right? See, this is it. But if you allow Barcelona to start dictating play from the first whistle, they're the sort of side that you won't see the ball for 80 minutes, honestly.
Yeah.
See,
they were that good. They were that good.
Yeah, they were, and you saw that. But I think
you approached the game in the right.
Yeah.
How else do you approach that game? You've got to take it to them, haven't you, really?
They were that good. I was looking at that. Some of the players.
Do you know what, right? Do you know how good they were? Even when Newcastle scored.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Right? And they scored 90 minutes. I don't think Newcastle got in their half again until those last free kicks and the throw-ins.
Yeah.
And they just kept the ball.
They didn't touch the ball.
They didn't hear it.
No, I was watching it. They kept the ball or just slowed the game down for 4 minutes of the 7 minutes you had left.
They did.
4 minutes. You just scored. You didn't see the ball for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's, look, you're playing against the elite of the elite. I think he's done well. I thought he's done all right, but it just...
yeah, but we could have been 3-0 up in the first 10 minutes.
Well, that's what goals change games, right? And if all of a sudden Gordon gets across that and he puts it in the back of the net...
He should score.
And he should, yeah, he's bad. And then you've got another chance of Harvey Barnes. Ali said in the comms, you've got to place it across. You've got to blow the ball. But it's on his weaker left foot. He probably snatched it a little bit, probably. Hit the target, which he does. But once you don't get the goal, you've got to get your breather. That can't carry on for 45 minutes. It's almost impossible.
Mate, I played up front all my life.
Did you? Who'd you play for?
Somersham.
Who's that?
Somersham.
Good team.
Somersham.
Good team, Somersham.
Mate, I played in against Darren Bent when he played for Coventry.
Right, yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. He won.
Scored so many goals.
But you're a centre forward, though, Mikey.
Yeah, well,
yeah. What sort of? Was it a high press?
Nah, I was a. What is it?
Yeah, but you've just told us that you played football. Is there a finish to that story?
Hey, Jamie, I was a goal hanger.
Right.
Yeah, I just stayed at the end. I didn't. Okay. I never tackled.
What's that got to do with tonight?
No, it's got a lot to do tonight.
It's everything to do, Jamie. Shut up.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Talk to you or talk to the other mate.
Why you been?
Yeah, but I don't know what you want about. You've just told us you played football.
For Somersham.
Right, okay.
Good team, you said.
Was there a point to that? Was it,
Terry Butcher.
Yeah. What about Terry Butcher?
I played with Terry Butcher.
What, Somersham?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, go on. Who else you play with?
Terry Butcher that you know. There's another Terry Butcher.
Okay.
All right, Mikey, listen, go and...
Somersham, mate.
Somersham, good team.
I'm going to look them up.
No, they're a good side.
I'm going to look them up and see what...
proper out.
See what they look like.
I reckon they're a good out. I reckon he was a good player, Mikey.
Yeah, he sounds it.
Yeah, it sounds like he's got to put himself about. Keep your calls coming in. You want to have your say on tonight's performance? Newcastle fans, Man City fans, phoning us up. Man United fans are phoning us up. You've got to be happy for Rashford, don't you? He's done the business. One of your own. 03 717 2233.
Found him.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.